and welcome everyone to the new episode of the First Friday Showcase. Last episode, we talked about our webinar events that were going on throughout the month, and then we also had the discussion on shopping small throughout the holiday season and ways to promote your business and shopping locally. Now, this episode, we're going to talk about our webinar events as usual. And we're also going to go into a discussion about analytics, specifically social media analytics, and how you can use this data to increase your business traffic and success, whether that's brick and mortar or online. So now Julian's going to go into the consultant corner of December and talk a little bit about that.
Mm-hmm. Our consultant for the month was Keith Yergosky, he's a business consultant from the University of Scranton, SBDC. He received his master's degree in marketing from Scranton and is also an adjunct professor who teaches principles of management and business strategy and social entrepreneurship at Scranton. And he discusses why business's online presence is its most valued asset. And if you're to subscribe to a newsletter, the Consultant Corner comes out on the third Thursday of every month.
Thanks, Julian. Keith, you can tell, is a big fan of the University of Scranton. It's got quite the history there. So I'm going to go into some webinar events we have coming up for the month of January. Now, first, we have the Business Lender Roundtable. And basically, this is going to be a meeting with partnered banks. And it's going to be kind of your chance to pitch your business idea and get feedback from those lenders, basically telling you what they would want to hear and what they don't want to hear. So that is going to be January 20th at 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. And then the next event we have coming, we have multiple events, but these are just two highlights. We have the 4 P's of marketing, and it's going to be going over your business's marketing strategy. And that's going to be on January 27th from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. And basically, they're going to talk about the product, price, promotion, and place, the 4 P's, and how they are relevant to your business's marketing strategy. And that's going to be presented by Tauhi Shupka, who is the Vice President of the Workplace Initiatives Division at Cultiva Global Solutions. And again, that's January 27th at 1 p.m. And those all our events can be found at pasbdc.ecenterdirect.com/events. You'll find them all there. You can filter through them. If you're just looking specifically for the Kutztown events, you'll find them there. And there's also events from all centers. So now we're going to go into our discussion on social media analytics, basically how to track and take action on data you find online. So me and Julian discussed this a little bit before we went live here. And we kind of talked about a few things, what to track. So Julian, what do you think you would look for if you're a small business and you want to kind of grow your following or just track data?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things that we kind of mentioned and also talked a little bit about in previous episodes is reaching the biggest audience you can. So with that, getting other people with followings to share your page and reach more people is really important. And with that, you need to know when to post things, who you're reaching, when you're reaching them, and all that kind of stuff to just help you in your social media page reach as many people as possible.
Right. I think a lot of people, or a lot of small businesses, they will start their social media and they believe that that's better than nothing. But if you want to take that extra step and really create a good return on investment with social media, it's important to track certain things. Specifically, one that I like to pay attention to, or that I would pay attention to if I was a small business, is I would try to highlight the best times and days of the week to post to see, play around with your time and your posting schedule and see if you post Monday at 2 p.m. Or let's say Monday at noon around lunchtime, and you see you're not getting a very good engagement with your post, your reach is low, and then try to post again next week, Monday at like 4 or 5 after work. And you can see, oh, there's more engagement on one of them, and just adjust accordingly.
Yeah. Or like Sunday when nobody's working, like a weekend at like 2:00 or something, to see if you get more people clicking on something or looking at something, engaging with something.
Yeah. And then you could
See if
have
it's
like a
better like during the
calendar.
week. Yeah.
Like set up a calendar and make little notes, like what the type of post was, how it performed, was it shared with anyone, did you mention any other accounts, because another point is building those social media relationships, right? Like if you have a business that's across the street from you and they're active on social media, let's say they have 10,000 followers on Instagram and you have 1,000, you want to get linked up with them. You want them to share your posts. You want them to comment on your stuff, because that's just free. It's free marketing basically, because you're just going to sap some of their followers basically.
And that starts with like, say you're the 1,000 follower business and you go over to the 10,000 follower business, say, hey, I'll share you if you share me. Like, it's like we talked about in the last episode, like it's a community. Like small businesses are a community. They help each other.
Yeah, and it's a win-win, because they get customers that they don't already have, and then so do you. And then that can be used in the future when you're advertising new products or services. Maybe you have deals going on that are exclusive to social media, and that'll help out your followers. So you want to give people a reason to follow you as well.
Right.
And the getting data from your posts can allow you to more effectively reach them, is basically if you had to sum it up in one sentence, the importance of the analytics is basically that.
Yeah. Reaching more people. That's the biggest thing.
And there's different ways you can record this data. The main way that we do it at the SBDC is through like an Excel spreadsheet, and we just mark each month and what we're tracking. And that also gives you the opportunity to make graphs and other different types of charts through Excel. So that's a good one.
Yeah, I think you said, you mentioned before, like interactions, like you see, say in November, you had 8,000 people interact with a post or your page or something, whereas the previous month you had 500. And then you try to figure out, what did I do, or like how did I post this to reach as many more people, or like did somebody share my account, or how did I get there? Like that's another thing you have to look out for, is how did I get like so many more people to interact with my account? Like what did I do to change that?
Yeah, it's really just about understanding what's going on. And it's similar to just any type of data that you gather. You could think about it in that sense. It's not just, instead of thinking of it as social media, it's really just any type of data. You assess it and figure out a route to take from there. And again, going off of the different ways to record data, there's also 2 other platforms that we use, right, that I use specifically, is Hootsuite, which is good because you can track all different types of accounts at a time. I think it's 3 or something with the free version. And that creates all cool little graphs and gives you really good data on there. So if you're not using Hootsuite, I definitely recommend it, because it kind of tracks the data for free for you. It's stress free. Whereas the Excel sheets, you kind of have to put some work in.
Yeah.
And then Facebook Business Analytics, it kind of does the same thing, but that's exclusive to Facebook and Instagram. So do you have anything else to add for that?
Yeah, I think with analytics, it's just basically just paying attention to like the how you got somewhere. Like it goes much beyond like likes and retweets and favorites and stuff like that. Like you need to see, like you said earlier, with the time of day is really important, and just reaching as many people as possible.
Yeah, and then you could go into a whole different discussion on like website analytics if you have an e-commerce page, and the SEO and all that. But we'll save that for another time, because that's a whole nother discussion. But another thing I would want to add to this is, I know not all platforms have this capability, but finding where people found you, and this might be more of a, kind of ask. You might have to ask around. But one thing that I would suggest is when people come into your business, ask how they heard about you. See if your social media promotions are working. If they found you from social media, or if a friend told them, find out how people are finding you, especially if you're a newer business.
Yeah.
Because,
so
asking.
You can gear your marketing towards that.
Exactly.
Like it's word of mouth, and figure out what you did to get your business out by word.
Because let's say, for example, you had a post that did really well, and someone came to the business and said, "How did you hear about me?" They said, "Oh, I saw you on social media." And then you can mention the post, and maybe they saw you from that post. Take notes, keep that mental note.
Yeah.
So that's all I have for that, unless you have anything else to add.
No, I think that's we touched on the most important parts.
Yeah, great. So I just want to thank all of our viewers and listeners again for tuning in to our 9th episode of the First Friday Showcase. Next episode will be out February 4th, and it will be on either a new topic of discussion, or most likely feature a KUSBDC consultant or staff member. Because the last few have just been me and Julian, or previously me and Matt. So we're going to try to get someone else on here to provide some insight, maybe into a topic we're not too familiar with. Maybe we can learn a thing or two. So to view all of our training events again, that's going to be pasbdc.ecenterdirect.com, and visit there if you want to attend some of our webinar events, or maybe another center's events. But that's all for now. Thank you again for tuning in, and take care.